from the News Channel 5 Network and Out and About newspaper. This is Out and About Today, sponsored by the Tennessee Performing Arts Center.
Good evening and welcome to our November edition of Out and About Today. I'm Pam Wheeler. We've got a great show for you tonight. Brent will have a chat with Dr. Sandra Barnes and check in on a new $1 million Vanderbilt study on the rising HIV diagnoses. And later in the show, in the Entertainment Outlook, Chuck will preview Nashville and Harmony's Ear Candy holiday show. We're excited about that one. But we're going to open our show with our weekly Buzz About talk and maybe possibly our last mention of AC2. I'm joined by my co-hosts, Chuck and Brent. Hello.
You promised it's the last one.
I know.
You think it really will be?
I don't know. And we've debated if we should even talk about it. But the truth is, we were talking about AC2. Anderson Cooper, Andy Cohen, they were here last month in our town. And since Pride, we've been trying to get them on the show.
Pride 2006?
yeah, at least.
We talked, we got all this chatter going. We thought they were going to be on the show. You did. Was it really their publicist?
Yeah.
And nothing happened.
No, well, nothing happened. Well, something did happen. A little something happened. I mean, I went back and forth. They weren't able, of course they're busy, so they weren't able to sit down with us. We couldn't really work out a Skype interview. So we said, can we at least go to the show and talk to them? So here's what happened next.
Right, and they gave us VIP.
Yeah, they did.
We got VIP, which we did not have.
Right, we got to meet them. We got some signed books.
We got signed books. We took pictures, which we're going to show, and
but
then
you got a whale of an interview. Seriously.
I know.
Pam, all by herself.
Yeah, let's just take a look at this 22-second little thing I did. Andy Cohen. Show, but that's okay. I mean, that's happened. So tell us, what the last check you wrote to a gay organization.
Oh, I think it was HRC.
Hell yeah, it was. Hell yeah.
There it is.
Well, it was such a thought-provoking interview that's the only thing that we could really show on television, right?
Hey, it was on the cuff right there. That's all I could come up with after 2 glasses of wine, too.
And 6 months of talking about it. No.
Okay, fair enough.
But the thing is, though, there were a lot of people there meeting and greeting, and they were trying to be thoughtful of everyone. And so, you know,
there were hundreds
grateful.
of people.
Yeah,
we were just a few little specks.
Like you said, if that would have been Andy Cohen back in his day,
yes.
as he was on his way up, he would have done the exact
Oh, he would have. He would have done something crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
So kudos to you.
Yes. Good way to think on your feet.
Okay.
And we're done.
And yeah, that's in the past. And now we're going to go to a very topical, serious. We're going to have a serious conversation with a different spin on, first, it starts with the Harvey Weinstein scandal. And then actress Alyssa Milano, is that her name?
Yeah. Did the Me Too.
Yeah, she did the Me Too. And actually, she didn't start it. A different activist started in like 2007, the Me Too. Alyssa Milano writes, if you've been sexually harassed or assaulted, write Me Too. And it's a firestorm. And here's some numbers as CBS News reports. The hashtag was tweeted nearly 1 million times in 48 hours. On Facebook, there were more than 12 million posts, comments, and reactions in less than 24 hours by 4.7 million users around the world. And Facebook is suggesting that 45% of users have had friends who posted Me Too. I mean, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, when you consider the number of Facebook users in general across the world, that's a significantly large number of people.
Right. And I just started looking at articles about this, looking about gay people. And then I found a couple things, and one on HuffPost was about, the headline is, The Difficult Truths About Gay Men and Sexual Assault. And so then I wanted to ask you guys for not just your personal experiences, but in your circles, because I think it's a whole lot harder to even say Me Too, right? Do you think it is?
Well, and especially in reference to that article, that they were almost comparing, you know, how some of these assaults are compared to what happens in a gay bar. If you go to a gay bar and, you know, as it gets, you know, closer to, you know, drunk 30, and what the stereotype is of men grabbing other men wherever they want to, just, you know, to flirt and, you know, maybe let's go home and that kind of thing. One, I found that not good to compare an assault with what's going on there, because then that's a stereotype. But I do think that it's something that guys, girls, whomever, that if somebody shouldn't just walk up and do that. Just think they've got the right to do that because it's late at night and you think, oh, let's go hook up.
Well, and I know I'm throwing a lot of things at you, right? Because we know in the situation that has been so much in the news, we're talking about power, right? And feeling all the things that come into play when your superior does something to you. And I threw you guys a couple articles that were not about that, but I do think for gay men, it has to be harder to put it out there when it's happening, when you're talking to it, and the article was talking about bringing someone home and it going too far and being ready to say or being at the point where you say no and nothing happens.
Well, and I think, yeah, it's that distinction of what you've agreed to and then what you haven't. And I think the other article you shared was really telling him because one of them admitted to having invited someone home. So it was clearly he had consented to them being there and they wanted to do something he didn't want to do, but he allowed it to go forward. So, I mean, you start out maybe groping in a bar, flirting online, they actually get there, something's happening, and then you're like, oh, well, I guess I agreed to this. So it kind of makes it where do you say it's assault or where do you say it's just I'm uncomfortable because I did A, B, and C, didn't really like D, but E and F were great. So like that one spot was assault. Yeah. So it's kind of it's just a little bit more. And then like you said, how do you say something later? Well, like clearly you saw you out trolling on Grindr. So I mean, clearly you weren't too concerned with your. So I mean, it just really kind of makes it difficult. But I think ultimately, if someone is truly uncomfortable and put in a situation, they need to tell somebody.
Right, and no means no. That's the same thing
No matter who's, maybe.
Right. And I think we're already out of time somehow. And I had a third topic. Well, we'll save it for next time. You don't go away. When we come back, Brent will bring us information on a $1.5 million HIV study at Vanderbilt. Stay with us.